This is CTV News for this Wednesday, January 21st. I'm Sonia Shrivastava. Thank you for joining us this evening. Well, Maryland ushers in a new era of leadership with the inauguration of its 62nd governor. The ceremony for Republican Larry Hogan was held earlier today in front of the State House. Our Rochelle Metzger was in Annapolis with more.
Well, you can drop the elect. It's now officially Governor Lawrence J. Hogan Jr. The Republican leader says he wants this new chapter in Maryland to be about fiscal responsibility, a solutions-based government, and working across the aisle to build back the state's economy. Snow didn't stop the show in Annapolis. The swearing in of Governor Larry Hogan and Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford, full of all the pageantry you'd expect from a gubernatorial inauguration.
And support the Constitution and laws thereof.
First taking the oath in a private traditional ceremony inside, then publicly outside, before a large crowd of spectators who braved the flakes and frosty temperatures to watch and listen.
Starting today, let me say loudly and clearly, Maryland is open for business.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who stumped several times for his GOP colleague during the campaign, introduced Hogan.
Let me tell you why I like Larry. I like him because he stands up strongly for his principles. I like him because he's blunt and direct, and he says what he believes.
I am prepared to create an environment of trust and cooperation where the best ideas rise to the top based upon their merit, regardless of which side of the political debate they come from.
His core message, bringing business, jobs, and security back to Maryland.
We seek the freedom to compete without the undue burden of high taxes and bureaucratic regulations, which make us less competitive.
Resonates with attendees we spoke with.
One of the reasons I become unemployed is because the company I work for left the state. And unfortunately, the more you're over 40, the less chances you have of getting a job.
I see so many young people who don't have jobs, especially minority kids, and it's a shame that what we see now is a lot of young black males who are unemployed.
Hogan pledges to change Maryland for the better, a promise those who voted for him say they hope he'll deliver.
A lot of hopes there. He's got a lot to live up to.
Following the ceremony, there'll be a reception in the State House Rotunda with a receiving line where the new governor and lieutenant governor will greet the public, and Hogan has said he will stay to shake everyone's hands. We're also told that he slept in the governor's mansion for the first time last night. This evening, there'll be an inaugural gala in Baltimore City. Reporting in Annapolis, I'm Rochelle Metzger. Back to you all in the studio.
Okay, thank you, Rochelle. And no downtime for the state's new leader, who inherits a sizable deficit. Hogan is scheduled to release his fiscal 2016 budget at a press conference Thursday, which he promises will be full of specifics. Well, among the many questions Prince George's leaders are wondering is how will the county fare now that a Republican governor has taken office? That answer can vary depending on who you ask.
There were many times before when, during the Ehrlich administration, that we were able to really work on a lot of the things that happened during that time. And it worked out fine. I have to admit, there's a lot of, trying to get your sides right and so forth. So you get a lot of that posturing at the beginning, and then usually about the end of the term, we'll get it again. But I think we can work.
You think everything will be fine?
I didn't say it'll be fine. I said I think we can work.
Larry Hogan's originally from Prince George's, so I think he will be concerned about what's going on in our community. As a Prince George's County Republican, I mean, it's great to finally have a Republican that I voted for that, is actually representing me. It's very frustrating to be completely represented by Democrats in Prince George's and feel like you don't have a voice at all. So having the governor, I feel like we've got a voice now. One thing Governor Hogan has been talking about that I think is important is he's been pushing more of an emphasis on charter schools, and with all the problems we have with education in Prince George's, I think that's something that'll be a really positive step forward. Hopefully, we've had a lot of people in business who have been leaving the county and the state because of the taxes and regulations, and hoping more people will be willing to stay now.
Now, most Prince George's leaders say that bringing the hospital and the FBI headquarters to the county is their #1 priority, but privately, several have expressed concern about whether the Purple Line will come to fruition. Well, Governor Larry Hogan ran on the promise to change Maryland, and now that he is officially the second Republican in over 40 years to assume the state's highest office, people are waiting to see that change. CTV News asked area residents what they are expecting from the Hogan administration.
I hope he follows the direction we've been going. I understand it's a party change, but he needs to understand that the people of Maryland, have a state that they're proud of, and we have a lot of policies that are starting to work.
Hopefully, too much taxes won't be increased, and we will have new taxes being put in place.
I hope you don't forget some of the things that are out there. Very, very needy people, and infrastructure too.
I hope he cooperates. If anything, I hope he cooperates.
The governor says he will not roll back on Maryland's relatively liberal social policies. He has promised major changes in the state's fiscal approach, including spending reductions and tax cuts. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Sonia Shrivastava.